So if you're willing to pay the price, I believe you can have anything in life.
Not wrong. Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new podcast series called How to Adult, where we'll be talking about anything and everything related to navigating adulthood. So my name is Shireen and I'll be your main host of this new podcast series. And here in the studio we have Yi Ting, who will co-host with me today.
Hi everyone, I'm Yi Ting from iFast Global Marketing.
So Yi Ting, is this your first time hosting a podcast?
Yes, I'm super nervous right now.
Me too. But today's topic will be something that is quite personal to both of us. I mean, as adulting can be intense in your 20s or 30s. That's why we are also starting this brand new podcast series where we want to create a safe space to talk about different topics related to adulthood, like career, passion, finance, relationships, and so on. So, before we get into today's topic, please don't forget to like and subscribe to iFast TV as well. Okay, so Yi Ting, I've heard that you are a dancer.
Where do you hear it from?
I mean, we have a lot of mutuals because I'm also a dancer. So I guess some of my friends have talked about you as well.
Yes, I do dance. So I mainly do street dance, and the community itself is really very small. So we've probably seen each other somewhere before, just that we don't know.
Before we came into this company together, I guess. So actually, do you dance a lot more now because you're also like working full time?
I've been quite consistent with my commitment, so it's always a after work, after school kind of thing.
Actually, same. Like it's kind of like our 5 to 9 after our 9 to 5. Yeah. But have you ever considered like pursuing dance as a career because of how much you love it?
I thought about it before, but I'm not sure whether it's the right thing to do. So it leads on to today's topic on whether practical thing to do to pursue our passion as a full-time career.
Yes. So here today we have invited a very special guest who is a professional aerial acrobat and is a branch director of a financial advisory firm. So please welcome Eddie.
Hi everyone, my name is Eddie. So in my professional role currently, I specialize in retirement planning. So I basically help people to plan for their retirement, right? Financial retirement specifically. In my previous life, I was a professional acrobat. I represented Singapore at an international festival.
Wow.
And I used to live and work in Vegas for 2 years. So that was my full-time gig right after I graduated.
Oh, wow. It was right after you graduated.
Yes. So after graduation, I packed my bags, drove to Vegas. So I studied in the US. And then I stayed there for 2+ years. And I was building my career as an artist. Yeah, so I did that full time. I hustled, every opportunity that I got to pursue my dreams to be a professional artist.
Oh wow! Actually, before this episode, we saw your video, one of your performing gigs, and usually do you see it?
Yeah, you shared it with me. It's super crazy. Like, how could you do that in the air?
Yeah.
So actually, I guess all of us are very curious on what actually got you into such a niche genre of performing arts in the first place.
I would say it was really a pure chance, right? I encountered a friend who was doing aerial acrobatics recreationally. I saw a video that she posted on her Facebook. And this was in my freshman year of college. And I saw this video and I was like, wow, this looks like fun, right? So it got me curious. I went to sign up for a class, introductory class at a studio in my neighborhood back then. And then I absolutely fell in love with it. It turned out that I was also, kind of good at it. Yeah, and I met some professionals who were doing it for a living. So they were traveling the world, like performing in different shows, in cruise lines and in different hotels around the world. So I thought, wow, what a way to live. Yeah,
That's the dream.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, well, now I'm say 24, 23-ish. Perhaps that was the best time for me to give it a shot, give it all my everything I had to see if I had a chance at making it to be a professional acrobat. So that's what I did.
So that class was kind of like the starting point that made you have this dream of becoming a performing artist.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I trained for about maybe 3-4 years, throughout my college. And then after I graduated, I went on to pursue it full time. So the goal was to create a 5-minute act that you can sell, right? And once you have built this strong act, then you can market yourself and you can perform the same act in any show, in different variety festivals or in different hotels. In Vegas, every hotel has a show that you can go and watch. Yeah, so that was the idea. So I poured everything I had towards building this act, and then I started to book a few gigs here and there, and then eventually I did a couple of shows internationally.
So how does it work? Like you will need to like create like an act by yourself, like kind of like in dance terms, like choreograph something, and then you were supposed to like sell it to like the kind of the theaters and the agencies, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So this whole process was like a solo work? Or with a team?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, behind every artist, there's so many people backstage who are supporting you. Yeah. So for me, primarily it was my coach. So I had a few coaches throughout the journey, and most of them were Cirque du Soleil artists. Right. So I sought out these coaches who are really at the top of their game, and then you hire them, you engage them to train you. So you build up certain skill sets, right? And you piece them together to tell a story and put an act together. So I cannot say that it was all my work. I was the mold, right? And they were helping to mold this piece of clay into becoming like a piece of art, a masterpiece.
Just now you mentioned that you actually started this, was it during your freshman year?
Yes.
So it was quite like later in life compared to like...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Most acrobats, they start when, in their childhood.
Yeah.
Or in their teenage, right? Or perhaps they come from a generational circus family, or they had some background in gymnastics. For me, it was quite different. So I was about 21, 22 in my freshman year of college when I chanced upon this for the very first time. So it was a very, very steep learning curve. Right. So you could say that it was against all odds, right? But somehow I was so obsessed with it and I was so determined, right? That I think I managed to overcome some of the odds. Yeah.
Wow. Then wasn't the training for the first few years like very tough? I mean, from what I saw in the video, that looked like a lot of flexibility needs to be like trained, and then all the techniques and all that stuff. Like how do you even pick it up and be so good even for like a limited period of time?
It was definitely challenging. I'll be lying if I say it was easy, right? So when you start at 21, your body is already developed in a certain way. So you have to reshape your body in other ways, and that includes flexibility, strength, agility, balance, and grace, and how you move. So it's a whole scope of things, right? Yeah. So I think when you set your mind on something, and if you're really focused on that outcome, right, you will figure out the how and the what. So once your why is strong, the how and the what will come. So I was willing to pay whatever price it took, whether it's training at the studio 5 days a week or finding the best coaches who can help to train me and guide me, right? Or even moving cities. I was studying in Salt Lake City, and then upon my graduation, I moved to Vegas because that's where I could find the best coaches in the United States. Yeah, so if you're willing to pay the price, I believe you can have anything in life.
I mean, not wrong.
So there's a saying I really subscribe to, which is you can have anything in life, but not everything. So whatever that you pursue will come at a price, and there will be sacrifices that must be made. And if it's important enough to you at that point of time, then you will pay the price, you will make the sacrifices, and you will get closer towards that goal.
But actually, I'm also quite curious, like, how do you know that this was kind of like more than a hobby? Like, when do you know that this was like a passion that you really wanted to pursue? Because I do feel like when I first started dance, right, it was more like a hobby. I just wanted to go for a class because it makes me happy. It kind of like helps me with exercise and my wellness as well. But then kind of like after a while, then you start to want to be challenged. You want to go for like competitions and like gigs and all that stuff.
Natural
so I guess that's when you start thinking that this is actually more than a hobby. It's like a passion. So when do you have like a moment in your, like when you were training full time that you had this moment?
I guess when I started to make friends with the professionals who were doing this for a living, I saw how they live their life, and it was beautiful, right? they were pushing their physical and their mental limits, and it's an expression of athleticism and artistry at the highest level. So to me, that was them, pushing their human potential, right? Finding their limits and then pushing the limits. So to me, that in its essence was pure beauty. And then I also saw that it is possible to make a living, a comfortable, a decent living, while doing what you love through these examples, right, of people that I met. So that's what, and I realized I was spending all my free time doing this voluntarily, right? So back then my rationalization was, the job that I choose to do, I'll probably be spending 80% of my waking hours on my job,
That's true.
right? So say you are awake for 12 hours a day, or 14 hours a day, whatever, right? And you're working like 10 hours. So that's like 80% of your working hours. 80% of your waking hours are devoted to your craft, to your job, to your occupation. So do I want to spend that time, this significant amount of time, doing something I don't like just to make the money, or do I want to devote it towards something that I really enjoy and make less money?
Okay.
Right. So as a young, naive 26-year-old, I chose that, okay, I think I'll be comfortable with maybe 4 or 5K a month, as long as I devote the bulk of my time pursuing something that I truly enjoy innately. In Vegas, there was 2 times that I went completely broke.